So for this video, let's make a toast to interplay with one of gaming's most iconic beverages, the Nuka-Cola. I'll be making all 5 Nuka-Cola recipes from the Fallout official cookbook by Victoria Rosenthal, starting with the classic Nuka-Cola. In a large pan, put 2 cups of water, 3 cups of sugar, and then you're going to add the zest of half an orange, half a lime, and half a lemon. Toss in 1 cinnamon stick, 3 cardamom pods, half a teaspoon of coriander seed. I only had ground ones, but it should still work. 2 star anise. Then you're going to want to whisk all that until the sugar has dissolved, and then bring the mixture into a boil. Once it's boiling, reduce the heat to low and just simmer it for 10 more minutes. Strain the liquid in an airtight container. Then add the juices from the orange, lime, and lemon halves that you used for the zest. Add a 1/4 cup of browning sauce, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then you just gotta wait for it to cool down and then cover it up, put it in the refrigerator, and wait for at least 12 hours. When you're ready to make your drink, take a glass, fill it up with a cup of seltzer water or club soda, add some ice, then you're gonna add 5 to 7 tablespoons of the cola mixture. I went with 7 because I really want to taste it, you know? Mix it up and you have yourself a nice cold glass of Nuka-Cola. Next up, for the Nuka-Cola Quantum, we're gonna start off with 1 cup of water, then 2 cups of sugar. Add the zest of 1 whole lime and 1 whole lemon. Follow that up with 2 tablespoons of fruit punch and 2 tablespoons of pomegranate juice. Mix that up until all of the sugar has been dissolved. Bring it to a boil, and then when it boils, you lower the heat to low and then simmer for 10 minutes, just like the last one. Strain the contents in a container, add the lime and the lemon juice. Add a teaspoon of citric acid and 5 drops of neon blue food dye. I wasn't getting the color that I want, so I added an extra 5 just to make it a little bit more blue, but it ended up being pretty murky. We'll talk about that later. When it's cool, pop it in the fridge for 12 hours. When you're ready to make yourself a glass, add 1 cup of seltzer water, add ice, and this time you're gonna add 9 tablespoons of the quantum syrup. It's still not blue enough for me, so I added even more blue food coloring. That did improve the color, and we're gonna leave it at that. On to the next one. Now it's time for the Nuka Cherry. This one's gonna be super simple. So you start off with 1.5 cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of pitted fresh cherries that are cut in halves. Unfortunately, when I made this, cherries are not in season, so I ended up having to buy frozen ones instead. Mix it up, bring to a boil, lower the heat to low, but this one you're gonna simmer for 20 minutes instead. And then strain it in a container, and that's it, nothing else to add. Wait for it to cool down and then pop it in the fridge for 12 hours. Assembly time. Add a cup of seltzer water, add your ice cubes, and in this one you're going to add 4 tablespoons of the Nuka-Cola syrup and 5 tablespoons of the Nuka Cherry syrup. Mix it up and that's the Nuka Cherry. The Nuka-Cola Quartz is also pretty simple. Starting off with 1 cup of water, 2 cups of sugar, 1 vanilla bean split with the contents scraped. Mix it up until the sugar has dissolved. Might as well throw the whole bean in there since it's going to be cooking. Bring it to a boil, and then as soon as it boils, remove it from the heat. Strain it, add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and again you're going to wait for it to cool down, and then you're going to put it in the fridge for 12 hours. When you're ready to drink, add 1 cup of seltzer water, ice cubes, then add 4 tablespoons of the quartz syrup, 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, and there it is, a refreshing glass of Nuka-Cola Quartz. The 5th and final Nuka-Cola recipe in this book is the Nuka-Cola Float, which requires you to make your own vanilla ice cream. I won't be doing that because 1, the recipe calls for an ice cream machine and I don't have one. 2, I'm lazy. So I'm just gonna take my favorite vanilla ice cream and top it up with some Nuka-Cola and call it a day. So here we have it, all 5 Nuka-Cola recipes from the Fallout official cookbook. Let's switch it up to bottles so it looks a bit nicer. For the Nuka Cherry, I wanted to get the same look as the one in the book, but the Nuka Cola syrup just turned everything black, so I decided to replace it with a mix that's pure cherry to get that red color. I'm also placing some of my night lights behind some of the bottles to give them that glowy look. Why go through all this? Because it's all about that thumbnail, baby. Let's get to tasting. Starting with the Nuka Cola, it was pretty good. I was surprised how well all of those flavors came together. You first taste the zing of the citrus, but it's well balanced with the other elements. The spices were surprisingly mild. I could have actually used a bit more of it. The vanilla brings everything together, but my wife says it reminds her of root beer. Overall, it doesn't taste like cola, but it's refreshing and it has a nice flavor. Next is the Nuka Cola Quantum. I was expecting this to be somewhere between Sprite and Mountain Dew, but it was definitely more sour than I expected. That citric acid really packs a punch. I don't hate it though, since I love sour flavors, but I can't see myself drinking too much of this. I would have to dilute it to make it more pleasant. I think my teeth were starting to corrode. Up next is the replacement version of the Nuka Cherry, and it's just too sweet. It's like drinking candy. You definitely taste the cherry, but it's overpowered by the sugar. I switched back to the original recipe with the cherry and the cola mix, and it's way better. It's got a deeper, more complex flavor, and it's a lot more enjoyable to drink. Now for the Nuka Cola Quartz. Like the Nuka Cherry, this one is super sweet. The vanilla is nice and strong, but it's pretty one-dimensional. The milky consistency is a nice change, but the sweetness is lacking that acidic counterbalance. Makes me just want to drink Yakult instead. Yakult gang, give me a shout out in the comments. Finally, we have the Nuka Cola Float. I have high expectations for this, but is it going to live up to the hype? Let me tell you, this thing is a 10. Add Haagen-Dazs to anything and it'll be good. It's cold, creamy, refreshing, and delicious. Worth however many calories this thing is. I'm gonna rank all of these, but before I do, there's one more thing I want to try. In the Fallout wiki, the Nuka Cola entry states that the unique taste of Nuka Cola is the result of a combination of 17 fruit essences. It would be a shame if I didn't try, right? So in the regular Nuka Cola, there's already 3. Add the quantum syrup with the fruit punch and pomegranate, that's 5. Fruit punch is a fruit, right? In the cherry, we have 6. Then comes out everything in my pantry and fridge. Pineapple, pear, cranberry, raspberry, mango, passion fruit, guava, cantaloupe, peach, and of course, grape. There's also lychee in here, but I forgot to film it. So what does lore-accurate Nuka Cola taste like? It tastes confusing? There's so many flavors going on that it's hard to pinpoint how I feel about it. The more I drink it though, the more I notice the aftertaste tasting medicinal, kind of like cough medicine. I think I should just stick to the book instead of my own ideas.